morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien in Bubba on Sunday, December 8th. A little cool here in Georgia. A little sunny. It's supposed to be colder later this week, they say. Hey, the Bulldogs got beaten by LSU yesterday. Big time, huh? Well, here in Georgia, whether you're Bulldogs, Falcons, Georgia Tech, Braves, or whatever you are, you only got one championship. Yee! And the Bulldogs haven't won an NCAA championship in football since 1980. Well, anyway, this is your favorite alien here, doing a special video today on American discourse. Now, ever since 1950, the discourse has started. And it started with rock and roll. Okay, remember how if you're in your 70s and 80s, remember how your parents thought about rock and roll back then? Me being in my 60s, in the 1960s, rock and roll was in, and disco. Ooh, ooh. How did you think about disco, huh? Well, anyway, that's where it started. And then the Korean War came out, and it's something about the Korean War soured everybody. Because after that, the whole dysfunction of the United States came around here. By the mid 1960s, well, you had Vietnam and you had those students, and that's how the left started. Today all universities are left leaning. Isn't that crazy? Because they had their sit ins. Remember those? And then you had Kent State. Ooh, bad, huh? But in the middle of Kent State, you had something that started what we have today. Going postal. Remember that? Where the post office workers went crazy and started shooting at each other? Well, today that became mass shootings. Last week you had two at two naval bases, including Pearl Harbor. Ooh, ain't that fun? But then again, remember in the 1970s, lawyers couldn't advertise. And today, you got lawyers wazoo all over the place. You had ambulance chasers in those days. That's the way they got you to sue people. Remember, they followed ambulances? These injury lawyers of today, they followed ambulances to the emergency room and got you to, hey, you got a case here, yoo-hoo. Remember that? Well, today, like here in Georgia, you got Morgan & Morgan and Montlick & Associates. What they don't tell you is, they say, oh, you don't win, we don't get paid nothing unless you win. But they get 33 and a third. So that's why they get those big numbers, because, 33 and a third is pretty good, huh? Especially if you're $100,000. Oh, that's a big payday. Or Johnson & Johnson, you get it awarded of $8 million or $800 million with all this Johnson & Johnson stuff on the talcum powder. Yeah, you can get all kinds of money. And, going after trucking companies and regular insurance companies for that. Well, the insurance company and most of the other companies, hospitals and stuff like that they can sue now, have decided, hey, this is part of cost of business, as they call it, COB. So we'll put it into our premiums and our billing. We'll jump up our billing for hospitals and other things to account for this cost of business situation. And most of these cases don't go to trial. They get resolved on out of settlement court. It just costs them money, $1 million here, $2 million there for hospitals, insurance companies on the car. Now they got these liabilities where you got $25,000 if it's a fender bender. But if you're a lawyer and you do these fender benders, I mean, $25,000, you get 33 and a third of that. You do about 6 or 7 a week. Hey, you got big money there. So you see what I mean, Americans? This is what American discourse has started. Now the doctors. they have counted that most doctors used to have uh, their own payment system, where they billed the patient directly. Now it's starting to go where the insurance companies, even Medicare, takes care of that, and they lose money. Oh, not really, because the hospitals are starting to make up. All right, we'll make it up in the bill, even though you're Medicare. We'll tell Medicare, hey, uh, like the government can pay $600 for a toilet seat. Well, we'll give you Tylenol and we'll pay you 13. You pay us $13 for that. Government knocks out 4. We still get what, 9? Tylenol costs what, 2? So $7. You see what I mean? It's all built in their profit. It's pricing, building. You see what I mean, Americans? And you sit back and accept all this. And then you accept the politicians. Hey, they're lining their pockets too, I mean, uh, governors and uh, presidents, and congressmen and senators, and even the judges are lining their pockets. So you can't blame them. This is the way the system is. I mean, you look at the ambassadorships, the senators. Usually, it used to be an honor to represent your state in the U.S. Senate. Now you can buy your way in. But look at Georgia. Uh, the Governor Kemp put fill in the spot uh, doesn't even have any political. It doesn't even know how the system works. Doesn't even know what a senator means and what a senator should do. Well, look at in Obama's case when he ran for president. The governor Gavorich of Illinois tried to buy the seat. Hey, you give me so much money and you can become senator. Yeah, right. So you see what I mean, Americans? This is what the discourse has started. So what are you going to do about it? Especially the ambulance chasers, the lawyers. I mean, look at all the advertisement. You can't watch TV without seeing any advertisement for lawyers. And they always put, oh, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a spokesman on TV. It's a disclaimer so they don't get sued. But yeah, look at all those lawyers firms like Sakaloff. All they deal is in money. They don't deal in patients' hardships. Or you got Ken Nugent, one call, that's all, here in Georgia. You might have something else in your state over there, but uh, those are the guys that started all this. Now they're getting big time. Mottlick and Associate was a little guy that started it back in the 1980s here, and he's getting big in Georgia. Morgan and Morgan has gone statewide. They're big here in Georgia and in Florida. So they are, big time. And sure, you got to use them once in a while because you need help. But they're actually abusing the system. Anyway, this is your favorite alien and Bubba. Good day.